Hi guys. Okay, so today what we're talking about is finding the area of triangles. So everybody should have a piece of paper that looks like this. Okay, you're going to fold this in half. So you can go ahead and fold it. Make sure you put your name up at the top, up here. Just put your name, because we're going to hand this in. I'm not going to mess around with putting it into our notebooks today. Alright, so finding the area of triangles. I can calculate the area of triangles. That's what we're working on. Okay, so what these problems look like, okay, if you had a triangle, go ahead and draw everything that I'm drawing. Alright, a lot of times, you know, your dotted line is going to be the height of the triangle. Not always, but sometimes. So let's say this was 4.3 inches, okay, and the base was 8 inches. Okay, this is the base right here. I'm sorry, this is the base right here, and this would be your height on this triangle. Okay, and what you have to do is find the area. Okay, so if you look at your scale for the module 13 on target 10, this is what they're talking about. You have to solve real-world problems that involve using the formula for area of a triangle. You can draw a diagram when or where necessary. Okay, so this is the type of problem you're going to see. Let's say this is, write this out. Find the area of a triangle Okay, find the area of a triangle. Let me get this a little bit better for you guys. Find the area of a triangle, shaped garden. With a base of 5 feet and a height of 3 feet. Okay. Sorry there, that's a little blurry. Okay, so find the area of a triangle shaped garden with a base of 5 feet and a height of 3 feet. All right, this is like you can write this down. Target 10. Okay, you have to be able to look at this type of problem, realize that you need to use the area formula for the triangle, and then solve it. Okay, so why do we need this? Okay, as I go through the notes today, I want you guys to think about what information that I'm giving you today is critical information that you need to know. Okay, one way to look at that is if you know it's related to the target, you know it's critical information. Okay, so this right here, target 10, and this is, let's just put real world problems. Okay, real world problems. This is something that's important that you guys need to be aware of. All right, so why we need this? Okay, we could put, if you were covering a flat 2D, two-dimensional space with something, okay? For example, carpet, tile, paint, paper, soil, fertilizer, wallpaper. Okay, there's a lot of stuff you could add to this list. But these are all, Okay, and if your shape was a triangle, we could use what we're going to learn today to figure out how much of the carpet, how much of the tile or paint or paper or soil or fertilizer we're going to need, wallpaper, all these kinds of things, okay? So this is why we need to learn about the area of triangles, all right? So that's your first page. Now you take your second page. Where did I put the second page? Your second page looks like this, right? Okay, it's got two sides. What you're going to do is fold it down the middle. Okay, so just fold your paper in half. And that is going to go into the inside of your cover. Okay, so when you open it up, it should look like this. All right. Now we're gonna take the stapler eventually. Before you turn it in, you're gonna take the stapler and we're gonna put two staples, one on the top, one on the bottom. Okay. That way it holds it together. All right. So this page right here, how to find the area of triangles. All right, so now we're going to actually get into the formula part. So our formula for area of triangles is area is equal to 1/2 base times height. Okay, and it's usually written like this with the B and the H right next. It's usually written like this with the B and the H right next to each other. Okay, so that means 1/2 of the base times the height. Alright, so remember, to find a half of something, you're just dividing it by 2. So you would take the base times the height and divide it by 2. Alright, so let's rewrite this one. Area is equal to, actually let's write this out. Area is equal to 1/2 base times height. Okay, 1/2 base times height. All right, so this right here, this is a right triangle. Okay, right triangle. Now, in your targets, it talks about, well, first of all, this right here is important. This is target 9. Okay, target 9. Right triangle. You have to know that the height of a triangle, okay, you have to be able to identify the height of a triangle by finding a line that makes a right angle with the base. Okay, so if this was my base, okay, this is my height. And they form a right angle. Okay, here's my right angle. This is 90 degrees. Okay, they're perpendicular. One's going along the horizon and the other one goes directly up into the sky. Okay, so my height and my base. Okay, this is the right angle, and this is, you need to understand that the right angle is formed by the base and the height. Okay. Now, let's make a little box here. All right. You might ask in the formula, why 1/2? Okay. The formula for triangle is half of the base times height. Why do you think we do the half? Well, because a triangle is a rectangle cut in half. All right, so if you remember, the formula for the area of a rectangle is just base times height, right? So basically, a triangle is, if you cut a rectangle in half, you have your triangle. So basically, a triangle is a rectangle cut in half. That's why you have to put in the half, because whatever that area was for the whole rectangle, you got to take half of that. This would be an acute
triangle. Alright, now this is going to be my base, and the dotted line that goes through here, okay, that's going to be my height. Alright, the base and height must always be, this is perpendicular. They must always be perpendicular to each other. Okay? This is key information. You have to realize this. Right? Just like here, this is perpendicular to this, and they form a 90-degree angle there. Okay? Notice here, your base and then your height, this also forms a 90-degree angle. Okay? So, when you look at this, you need to beware of extra info or extra information. Okay? Sometimes they might add in another length that you don't need to know. They might give you the measurement for this side right here. You really don't need to know that, because you need to know the base and the height. Okay? Now, sometimes your height is going to be outside of the triangle. So this right here, this is talking about target 9 as well. Okay? So you have your base down here on this one. This is an obtuse triangle. Okay, which means this triangle has an angle that's greater than 90 degrees. This is acute because all the three angles of my triangle are less than 90. Okay? So, obtuse, I have an angle right here that's greater than 90, just one angle. So if I draw a little dotted line out to the side here, keep going straight through my base, and then I draw a perpendicular line, dotted line, up to the top of the triangle. Okay, this is my right angle here, and this out here is going to be my height. Okay, so this is my base. This, they would have to give you a measurement right here of your height. Okay, because it goes from here up to here, but you need to know from the ground up to the top. You don't need to know how long this line is here. You need to know how high this is right here, from here to the ground, or to the base. Okay? Alright, so when you work through these problems, area of triangles, I'm going to show you here what we need to do. First, you need to identify the shape. Alright, so I can see that this over here is a triangle. Then you have to find the equation that you're going to use to solve this. And for the FSA, you're going to use your reference sheet, or for working on problems in class here, use your reference sheet or your notes. Okay? Now, third thing you're going to do is write the equation. Use the entire equation, not just an expression. So you want to use the entire equation. Alright? Number 4, plug. Alright? You're going to plug in the numbers. Use substitution to replace any variables. Okay, variables, they're talking about the b and the h in your formula, with number values given in the problem. Okay? Number 5, we're going to say you're going to chug. Okay? Chug means you're going to work on solving the equation for the still unknown variable, which is the area. We don't know the area. Okay? So you're going to chug out the answer. You're going to work out the answer.
All right. So units, no naked numbers. All right, they're trying to get you to remember area units are always squared. And you're going to see that in a second here. Okay? All right. So look at this triangle right here. My formula, first I got to identify the shape. This is a triangle, I know that. Then I'm going to find the equation. Area is equal to 1/2 base times height. That's what I need to use. Okay? So I'm going to write that down. Area is equal to 1/2 base times height. Then I'm going to, okay, so I wrote the equation. After I found the equation, I write the equation. Now I'm going to plug in numbers that they give me. So my area is equal to 1/2. What's my base? 6. What's my height? 11. Okay? So now, after I plug in the numbers, I'm going to answer, I'm going to chug, I'm going to work on the problem. So I should come up with an area. If I do 6 times 11, that's 66. And half of 66 would be 33. So I'm going to have 33, and remember, it's always squared for an area answer, so my answer would be meters squared. This would be the answer for this one, okay? All right. So I want you guys to look at this problem right here. There is extra information that you need to ignore. So I want you guys to go ahead and calculate the area of this triangle. Now, remember, first thing you got to do is write out the formula. Area is equal to 1/2 base times height. Okay? And what you got to do is look at this and try to figure out what is the extra information that I don't need. Okay? So go ahead and solve this here. Once you get it solved, I'm going
to come around and see if you have the same thing that I do, okay? Now, I can tell you that this 10, think about this, if this is extra information or not. You got to find the base and the height, okay? Now, on this back page, if you turn to the back, you have some open space. What I want you to do is put summarize, okay? Now, I want you to try to think of two key points that you could write down of things that you learned today that you think is key information, okay? You can talk to your friend for a second if you need to, but I want you to write out 2 things that let me know that you kind of understand what is some key information that we're talking about today, okay? All right. So once we get this done, I'm going to give you guys a few practice problems, okay? You're going to get some practice problems, three triangles, okay? Put your name at the top. You're going to solve these 3 problems, and eventually we're going to put these into your notebooks, either in your booklet or possibly to the side of the booklet after we put them in our notes. Okay? All right, so go ahead and work on this, and then we're going to do a scavenger hunt in a little bit here. Okay? Thanks for listening.